So now we will be discussing about weekly current affairs of August second week. What are all the topics which are most important in this particular second week? Earlier week we discussed 10 topics. This week 13 topics are there, 3 more extra topics added, which are most important for prelims point of view and mains point of view. So first topic is, which is in the news, is Mutwan Tribe. Mutwan Tribe champions cultural and linguistic preservation. So there is a tribe called as Mutwan who are living on the borders of Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Kerala, Coimbatore region. Audible or not audible? So Coimbatore region. So this particular people are disturbed or they are into the movement. Why? Because their language, their culture is getting extinct. There is no particular care for the preservation and conservation of their culture and language. Hence it is in the news. So what is the context? The context is Mutwan Adivasi Samuday Sangam. So there is a, for themselves, how we have association, there is also one association which is called as Mutwan Adivasi Samuday Sangam had hosted a 3-day meeting. In that 3-day meeting, it was been observed on the International Day of Indigenous People to emphasize critical initiative necessary for the protection of their culture. So hence, in this particular meeting, they raised the voice, they spoke against the government for the protection, conservation, preservation of their culture and their way of living. This Mutwan were being considered as loyal people of Madurai dynasty. They used to work for loyally they used to work for Madurai dynasty, and they are spread out in Idukki district, Ernakulam district, Thrissur districts of Kerala and Coimbatore and Tripura in Tamil Nadu. They live in the borders of Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and Kerala. They cultivate what? Cardamom, ragi and lemongrass. This particular people, Edamalakudugu Tribal Grama Panchayat has 28 Mutwan settlements. So we can expect a question like this. Mutwan tribal community is recently in news for what purpose? Mutwan tribal community is recently in news demanding for preservation and conservation of their culture and language. Where they stay? They stay in Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu. Major chunk of their population is located in Tamil Nadu and some parts of Kerala, very little parts of Karnataka. Why? Because they live very near to the Coimbatore, Idukki, Thrissur, this particular region. So hence, Mutwan tribal community is in the news. So they do what? Herbal practitioners. They also practice shifting cultivation, which is named as what? Virupi Krishi. Virupi Krishi means what they do? Shifting cultivation. Mutwan tribal community practice what type of doing agriculture? Shifting cultivation. Means here they will do for some point of time, again they will shift to the place, again they will shift to the place. There is a problem because of which is called as deforestation. When I practice shifting cultivation, what is the problem? Obviously in forest people it will not be owned by them. So they will do for some point of time in this particular forest, again they will shift to another part of the forest and they will go for deforestation, again they will do agriculture there, again they will come here, again they will come here. So they practice what? Shifting cultivation. Because of this, what is happening? There is a damage to the ecology. There is a damage to the forest. And this particular process of doing shifting cultivation in their language, in their culture is called as Virupi Krishi. Virupi Krishi is called as the shifting cultivation, and they are very famous for medicinal knowledge, they are very famous for Ayurveda, they are very famous for herbal practitioners. And what they worship? Animism. They worship souls. Ancestral forest dwellers means their worship is what? Animism means they worship souls. So we can more detailed, Government of India had formed a committee to study about this particular tribal community. So hence it is in the news. You need to know about Mutwan tribal community. So first, Mutwan tribal community lives on the borders of Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Karnataka. Major chunk of people will live in Tamil Nadu, next in Kerala and next in Karnataka. What is their demand? Preservation and conservation of their language and culture. Next, what they do? Herbal medicines, Ayurveda. They mainly focus upon Ayurveda. What type of agriculture they do? Shifting cultivation, which is called as Virupi Krishi. And they worship what? Soul worship, which is called as what? Animism. This is the first or issue which is there in the news, which is called as Mutwan tribal community. Next, August 10th will be celebrated as World Lion Day. So in 2025 also, August 10th was been celebrated as World Lion Day. So a summit was been conducted, a meeting was been conducted where in Barda Wildlife Sanctuary. Where it is located? It is located in Gujarat. Why it is in the news? We know that Asiatic lions are very, in India lions means it is Asiatic lions only. We don't have African lions, we have only Asiatic lions. So Asiatic lions are mainly present in India in Gir Lion Forest, in Gir Wildlife Century. But for the first time, as overpopulation of lions happened in Gir Wildlife Century, so now we are targeting to go out of the Gir. So which place we had to choose? Barda Wildlife Sanctuary. If you see here, there is a Barda Wildlife Sanctuary. If you see here, Gir Wildlife Sanctuary. If you see here, Gir Wildlife Sanctuary is more green and Barda Wildlife Sanctuary is very less. Next is Girinar Wildlife Sanctuary is there. These three are very, very famous for lions protection. See, Gir Wildlife Sanctuary has increased up to Girinar. Now we are going beyond. Now this is going beyond Gir and reaching what? Barda Wildlife Sanctuary. Hence it is in the news. So now in order to protect the lions, World Lion Day 2025 was been conducted. A summit was been conducted in Barda Wildlife Sanctuary. Hence it is in the news. In which district it is located? It is located in Devbhoomi, Dwarka district it is located. Who are the tribal communities living in this particular Barda Wildlife Sanctuary? Maldaris, Barwads, Rabris, Gadwis have lived alongside the sanctuary's wildlife for generations, engaging in sustainable grazing, practice and traditional livelihoods. These are the tribal communities very famous. Maldaris, Barwads, Rabris and Gadwis. So why there is one particular initiative which is called as Gir Barda Initiative. There is one particular initiative called as Gir Barda Initiative of 1979. According to this Gir Barda Initiative, mainly the lions are being targeted or present in Gir Lion Forest or Gir Wildlife Sanctuary. So we need to spread, we need to conserve, we need to protect the lions. Hence there is an initiative called as, which has been taken in the year 1979, which is called as Gir Barda Initiative. According to this particular program, Barda as a secondary habitat for Asiatic lion. First habitat is what? Gir Wildlife Sanctuary. So second wildlife sanctuary should be what? Barda. In which year we started this initiative? In 1979. Hence it is in the news. So in order to protect the lions also, in the year 2025, World Lion Day Summit was being held in Barda Wildlife Sanctuary. So when it was decided that lions should be protected outside Gir in 1979, by what strategy or by what initiative? Gir Barda Initiative. In which year this particular initiative was started? In 1979. Hence it is important for your prelims. So the name of this particular Asiatic lion is called as Panthera leopersica, also known as Persian or Indian lion. Exclusively they present in Gir and Barda regions. Only in this particular two wildlife sanctuaries, in this particular two regions only, this Asiatic lions or Indian lions will be present. One is called as Gir Wildlife Sanctuary, and Girnar already came under Gir. So Gir Wildlife Sanctuary. Second is called as Barda Wildlife Sanctuary. Hence it is in the news. So this lion status is what? In IUCN list, International Union for Conservation of Nature, according to IUCN, it is vulnerable. So there is a chance of what? There is a chance of it getting extinct, vulnerable. So Wildlife Protection Act is telling that Schedule 1, whatever is present in Wildlife Protection Act of 1972, Schedule 1, they should not be touched, they should not be killed, they should be highly protected by the governments. Hence it is Schedule 1 of Wildlife Protection Act, number 1. Number 2, its status is what? Vulnerable, and it is present in two regions. One is called as Barda Wildlife Sanctuary, second is called as Gir Wildlife Sanctuary. Why it is in the news? Why we are studying? Because the World Lion Day 2025 of August 10th summit was being held in which wildlife sanctuary? In Barda Wildlife Sanctuary. Hence it is in the news. The third topic is Perito Morino Glacier. Perito Morino Glacier. If you see here, this is called as South America. If you see here, Buenos Aires, Argentina capital. Buenos Aires. Here, if you see at the bottom, which is called a South Pole, not South Pole, but very near to the South Pole, there is one particular glacier which is present in the country called as Argentina. That particular glacier name is called as Perito Moreno Glacier. Perito Moreno Glacier. Why it is in the news? The Perito Moreno Glacier is melting at high speed. It is melting at very, very high speed. When the glaciers melt at very high speed, what will happen? The height of the sea level will increase. When the height of the sea level is increasing because of excess water coming, no, glaciers are getting melted, so excess water will come. When this excess water is coming, the sea level is increasing. When the sea level is increasing, the small islands which are present in the vicinity, they are getting submerged. So they are getting under the water. Hence the population is getting extinct. The islands are becoming extinct. The islands are becoming disappear. Hence it is in the news. Which glacier is highly, across the world, highly getting melted is what? Perito Moreno Glacier faces accelerated melt amid rising temperatures. So where it is located? It is located in Argentina, which South America, very near to South Pole. So the Perito Moreno Glacier, often referred to as white giant, is undergoing an extraordinary rate of ice loss as a result of increasing global temperature. This swift deterioration poses significant threat to one of the planet's most vital freshwater reserves. So all the freshwaters which are available in the South American continent, they are getting freshwater from this particular glacier. Now uncontrolled melting is resulting in increase in sea level, increase in lake level, because of which the nearby islands are getting submerged. Hence it is in the news. Perito Moreno Glacier is in the news. Where it is located? El Calafate in the Santa Cruz province of Argentina, within the boundaries of Los Glaciers National Park, which is recognized as UNESCO's World Heritage Site. So this particular area is called as UNESCO's World Heritage Site because of its glaciers. Now it is very nearly located to Los Glaciers National Park, which was been identified as World Heritage Site. Here there is one particular glacier called as Perito Moreno Glacier is getting ice melted at accelerated pace. Hence it is in the news. Where the melting is at faster pace is called as Perito Moreno Glacier of Argentina. There is a concept called as ice carving phenomenon. There is a concept called as ice carving phenomenon. You should understand this. Ice carving phenomenon means, in few English movies we will say it. There will be ice mountains. Suddenly, a ice will fall down. A block of ice will fall down. That particular ice of block falling down is called as ice carving. So in Perito Moreno, what is happening? Ice carving is happening. Ice carving is nothing but a block of ice is getting fallen down is called as ice carving. Recorded carving events have been noted since at least 1917. The periodic collapse of large ice blocks generates thunderous sound and creates stunning ice falls. These remarkable occurrences attract thousands of tourists annually. Suddenly they will fall. Role as a freshwater reserve. This Perito Moreno is the main role is what? It's a reserve for fresh water. So the Perito Moreno statement wise also we can expect the question in prelims. Perito Moreno is also famous for what? Ice carving. What is ice carving? Ice carving is nothing but the large blocks of ice will fall down from the ice mountains is called as ice carving, which is a unique phenomenon which is happening in the glacier called as Perito Moreno Glacier. Indian Semiconductor Mission spurs 4 new chip plans. Prelims point of view, very, very important. Already we have a semiconductor mission which is called as India's Semiconductor Mission, which is also called as National Semiconductor Mission, which started in the 2021. Under this particular National Semiconductor Mission, what is the objective? To produce semiconductors, to produce fab cities, to produce fabricated motherboards, to produce what? Panels, interactive panels, to produce what? Panels. So silicon based fabricated motherboards to be produced by using semiconductors, that is the motto, and National Semiconductor Mission was started in the year 2020. Why it is in the news? Under this National Semiconductor Mission NSM, Government of India had gave permission for 4 fab cities, gave permission for 4 fabrication centers, 4 semiconductors fabrication centers at Punjab, at Odisha, at Andhra Pradesh. The 3 places, at 3 states, 4 places were been identified to establish what? Semiconductor fabrication centers. So prelims point of view, very, very important. Government of India recently started 4 semiconductor fabrication centers in 3 states. What are the states? The state's name is called as Odisha, O-P-A or P-A-O, Punjab, Andhra Pradesh and Odisha. The Union Cabinet sanctioned 4,600 crore to facilitate 4 semiconductor manufacturing hubs in Odisha, Punjab and Andhra Pradesh as part of India's Semiconductor Mission or National Semiconductor Mission. The India's strategic effort to establish strong semiconductor ecosystem, diminish reliance on imports and to promote Atmanirbhar Bharat, self-reliant India, we are coming up with 4, see, petrol we are importing. Why? Because we are helpless. Why? Because it's natural resource. We don't have natural resource, so obviously we have to demand. There is no alternative. Gold, we are importing. Why? Because we also don't have gold. So gold also we are importing. Electronic goods, which are not natural resource, which are made by man. Accidentally, electronic goods like TVs, mobile phones, ACs, coolers, this electronic goods also we are 90% we are importing. Why? Because we don't have fabrication centers, we don't have motherboard manufacturing centers, we don't have semiconductor manufacturing devices. In order to stop imports of electronic goods, why? Because it's man-made. I can artificially create, no. So man-made. Now Government of India came up with the National Semiconductor Mission in 2021. Under this mission, recently 4,600 crore were being established, were being given for 3 states, Odisha, Andhra Pradesh and Punjab, to establish 4 semiconductor devices plants. One is called as Sexem Private Limited, second is called as 3D Glass Solutions. One, where it is located? It is located at Odisha, and second is located at Odisha. ACIP Technology at Andhra Pradesh, Continental Device India Private Limited at Punjab. In these 4 places, no need to remember the companies. So 2 in Odisha, 1 is Andhra Pradesh, 1 is Punjab. So why we are coming up? So that our dependence on import should be reduced. We should not much depend on the imports for semiconductor devices. Hence we are coming up with this particular 4 semiconductor fabrication centers in 3 states. So what is India's Semiconductor Mission, sir? What is India's National Semiconductor Mission, sir? So established in 2021 to position India as worldwide center for semiconductor design, production and innovation. It encourages what? Design linked incentive, aims to develop the skill of over 60,000 professionals and generation of indigenous intellectual property and facilitating technology transfer, overseen by an advisory board comprising of global semiconductor specialists, and acts as central agency for executing the Semiconductor India program, which has a budget of 76,000 crore. Under this India Semiconductor Mission or National Semiconductor Mission, the Government of India in 2021 itself earmarked 76,000 crore. Recently with 4,600 crore, 4 fabrication centers would be established in 3 states, hence it is in the news. Why we are going with semiconductor fabrication device? Every electronic good, this is electronic good, every electronic good need fabrication. This is called as fabricated motherboard. For this fabricated motherboard, it is a combination of semiconductors. So we are very poor in fabrication of semiconductors. So in order to stop the imports and to produce indigenous development and to increase exports, we want to produce more fabrication centers made up of with what? Semiconductors. Hence this particular is very important prelims point of view. What are mains point of view? What are the steps taken by the Government of India in order to increase electronics exports, indigenous production of electronic goods, domestic production of electronic goods? India Semiconductor Mission, recently under India Semiconductor Mission, 4,600 was being kept, and 4 centers in 3 states will be established for manufacturing what? Semiconductor devices centers. India, Middle East, Europe. India, Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor. IMEEC. India, Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor. If you see the map here, India, Middle East, this is called as what? Middle East. From this Middle East we are going towards which side? Europe. This complete center. So we are constructing what? A route. We are constructing a route. We are bypassing what? Red Sea. We are bypassing what? Bab-e-Mandab. So we are creating what? A alternative, which is having what? Maritime route, rail route, bus route. So it is a multi-modal transport corridor. It is what? Multi-modal transport corridor, which means it is maritime, it is railway, it is bus also. So it's a multi-modal transport corridor by the name called as IMEEC, which is called as what? India, Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor. How many countries are involved in it? 8 countries are involved. What are those? I will be telling you. Why it is in the news? India hosted a 2-day meeting of IMEEC, India Middle East Economic Corridor, special envoy in New Delhi to review progress and review coordination among regional disruptions. India, UAE, Saudi Arabia, finally connecting European Union, USA, France, connecting France, Germany and Italy. With stops in between. There will be a stop for Jordan, there will be a stop for Israel, there will be a stop for Greece. Egypt, Oman strategically relevant to routing. So these are the 8 countries which are part of this India, Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor. When it got established, in G20 meeting was been held in 2023, signed by 8 partners. At that time, this program was being envisaged by the name called as India, Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor. What is this? Multimodal maritime rail energy digital corridor linking India to Europe via the Gulf and Italian ports as European Union gateways. So prelims point of view, what is important? It is connecting India with USA. Passing through what? Middle East, Europe. Target is what? Reaching United States of America. From where? India. How many partners are there? 8 partners are there. Who are those? India is there. UAE is there. Saudi Arabia is there. European Union is there. USA is there. France is there. Germany is there. And Italy is there. These are what? Chalk points. Riyadh, Haifa, Israel and Saudi Arabia are the chalk points. So hence 2-day summit was been held. 2-day meeting was been held for the sake of to study about what is the development. In which year it started? In 2023, G20 summit was been held in Delhi, no? G20 summit was been held in 2023. In the G20 summit, we came up with a program called as IMEEC, or technically called as IMEEC, which is called as India, Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor. Moving from where? From India to finally to where? United States of America. This particular thing is called as European maritime or a multimodal transport system. So that why we are going for this? Why we are going for this? Because we had a very big problem with this. If you see here, there is a Red Sea here, Suez Canal here, which is very vulnerable. For example, recently what happened? There was a war between Iran and USA. What Iran did? Stopped Red Sea. No one should come. No oil tanker should come. No ship should come. So countries like India who are completely dependent upon imports, we will suffer like anything. So we need to have what? Alternative route. This alternative route is called as what? IMEEC. Next, a very good news. Till 2019, we used to completely depend upon defense imports. We were been buying Bofors, we were been buying Chapok helicopters, we were been buying armed guns, we were been buying pistols also. Everything we were been buying from other countries. Thanks to Make in India program, thanks to ease of doing business, thanks to Government of India's reforms, because of which what happened? We are not only importing, we are not only buying, we are selling also. Our exports also increased. For example, if you see our exports 2022-2023, our exports reached how many crore? 15,000 crores of defense equipment we started selling. And our target is how much? India targeting defense export worth rupees 40,000 crore by 2026. So our target is what? We have to, up to now we are buying, now we are selling. Exports should cross 40,000 crore by 2026 is our target, and eventually our exports are increasing, and 2022-2023 reached zenith 15,000, and by the year 2026 we want to reach how much? 40,000 crore, which is a good sign. Why, sir? అరే ఇప్పటి వరకు మనం కొనేవాళ్ళము, ఇప్పుడు ఏం చేస్తున్నాము? మనం అమ్ముతున్నాము. We are exporting it. We are giving to other countries. And how much we kept target? 40,000 crore. Apart from that, why it is in the news? India's annual defense production touched a record of 1.51 lakh crore in fiscal year 2024-2025, marking 18% growth over the previous year and 90% jump since 2019-20. Means what? Domestically, how much we are producing, value has been increased. Up to now we were been buying, but now the value which we are producing by ourselves is how much? 1.51 lakh crore defense equipments we are manufacturing. So we are not buying defense equipment, we are manufacturing how much, sir? 1.51 lakh crore defense equipments we are manufacturing by ourselves, and by last year 18% has been increased. When I compare with 2019-20, how much percentage of production increased? 90%. Atmanirbhar Bharat, self-reliant Bharat. The Bharat which is not dependent upon imports, the Bharat which is exporting now. The Bharat now, other countries are dependent upon Bharat. India is not dependent upon other countries. That is the situation today. It's mainly because of self-reliance. It is mainly because of Atmanirbhar Bharat. Thanks to what? Make in India program. Thanks to what? Ease of doing business. Thanks to what? National logistics policy. Because of all these things, the domestic defense production is increasing. Not only our production value is increasing, we are also exporting. That is the reason our target to export by 2026 is how much? 46,000 crore. See, if you write these points in your mains answer, if you write these points in your essay, we are growing or not? India is shining, yes, 100% India is growing. How I can tell? Because domestic production has been increased by 18% by last year, and by 2019-20 it has been increased by 90 years. This time our defense productivity is equal how much? 1.51 lakh crore. And once upon a time we are net importers. Now we are what? Exporters. And defense is a major field, defense is a major sector where we cannot compromise land. That too where the countries, the neighboring countries are very, very, very dangerous, poisonous countries are there around us. China, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Maldives, they don't know how, when they will change their color. Then compulsory we need to focus upon defense. And who are contributing more? 77% is contributed by our public sector undertakings like Midani, like DRDO, like Indian Ordnance Factory. 77% is contributed by public sector undertakings and 23% is contributed by private sector. Indigenization focus, ease of doing business, policy reforms under Atmanirbhar Bharat, and because of all these reasons, yes, our defense productivity has been increased. It is a good sign. It's a 100% good sign that yes, India's domestic production is increasing. India's exports are increasing. If we continue the same trend, by 2047, 100% we will become what? Viksit Bharat. And we are in now what? Amrit Kal. 2022 to 2047 it is called as what? Amrit Kal. And if we finally, if we want to reach self-reliant Atmanirbhar Viksit Bharat, this trend need to be continued. Union Minister inaugurated India's first state-of-art animal stem cell biobank. What is this? India's first, that is the reason, India's first First of state-of-art animal stem cell biobank. So stem cells of all animals will be collected and will be kept in biobank. Such a first biobank will be established. Stem cells. Then what are the stem cells, sir? Stem cells are starter cells. Stem cells are what? Stem cells are starter cells. Like what? If I get one, if anyone takes my stem cells, they can develop one more Vishnu, sir. They can develop one more human being same like me. That is the greatness of the stem cell. If I get any disease, if I have the stem cell will be present at the time of birth. If stem cell is been saved, the disease can be addressed. The disease can be cured. The disease can be saved. That particular cells are called as what? Stem cells. Embryonic stem cells can turn almost any cell type, which is called as what? Pluripotent. Pluri means what? Multiple. Any cell can be made by using what? Embryonic stem cells. Adult tissue stem cells, multipotent, found in bone marrow, skin and gut, replace cells within their own tissue. Sometimes replacement will happen, but altogether development will happen by what? Embryonic stem cells. When umbilical cord will come, no. When umbilical cord will come, with that umbilical cord, what will be there? Stem cells will be there. If we conserve it, then we can have solution, then we can have address, then we can have answer for any disease the man is suffering. Induced pluripotent stem cells. Normal adult cells reprogrammed in the lab to behave like embryonic stem cells. We can produce what? Regenerative medicines. We can produce what? Disease modeling things. So embryonic stem cells raise ethical issues, and however, we cannot deny it. Yes, 100% if stem cells are been conserved, protected, preserved for animals, we can reproduce it, we can manufacture regenerative medicines. In the same way, if the stem cells are being saved for human beings, if the stem cells are being saved for us, any disease can be solved, any disease can be cured. So why it is in the news? For the first time, India's first state-of-art animal stem cell biobank will be established in Hyderabad. Where it is going to establish? National Institute of Animal Biotechnology. कहाँ पे आएगा ये? नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ एनिमल बायोटेक्नोलॉजी सेंटर गचिबौली में है. वहाँ पे यहाँ पे एस्टैब्लिश होगा हैदराबाद में नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ एनिमल बायोटेक्नोलॉजी, स्टेट ऑफ आर्ट फर्स्ट इंडिजीनियसली डेवलप्ड बायोबैंक फॉर एनिमल्स और ह्यूमन बींग्स. फॉर एनिमल्स. Where it is going to come? In Hyderabad. What is the necessity? We can have disease. We can have answer for any disease. We can produce what? Regenerative medicine. Next, it's very much news. Stray dogs. So everyone, what are your views? Tell me, what are your views? Whether stray dogs should be stray dogs should be removed from the roads or not. What the Supreme Court of India told? The Supreme Court of India told in Delhi there should not be any stray dog. Send them to shelter homes as soon as possible. Establish 5,000 shelter homes. There should not be a single stray dog in Delhi roads. That was the judgment. I personally appreciate it. This is my opinion. Stray dogs are very dangerous. Stray dogs are very dangerous. If one stray dog bite one of our family members, no, then we will understand. We can say animal rights, 100% animal rights should be there. But for which animals? For domestic animals, for pet animals. Supreme Court did not told to kill them. Supreme Court told them to keep in shelter homes. We are creating a home for it. So that unnecessarily people should not be suffer, no. If it is human beings and animals, means obviously human beings. And that human beings, mainly children. Mainly children are getting affected because of stray dogs. Just because to get popularity, few parliamentarians are making noise that the stray dogs should be protected. 100% they will be sent to shelter homes, but they should not be on the roads, no. This is my opinion. So the Supreme Court on August 11, 2025 gave a landmark judgment, very beautiful judgment, which told that the stray dogs should be removed from the Delhi roads and sent to the shelter homes. And the order called for ABC. Rules are absurd. So the rules are absurd. Means what? For sterilized dogs to be returned to their capture site, it directed degradation of shelter, CCTV. So finally what? Yes, there will be protection of animal rights. 100% there will be protection of animal rights. But the stray dogs need to be removed. This is the judgment. There is prevention of cruelty against animals. PCA means prevention of cruelty against animals. Yes, there should not be cruelty. Supreme Court did not told cruelty, no. Supreme Court told that remove the stray dogs and send to their shelter homes. And if any mental man is there on the road, if any person who is crack and beating all the people with stones, whether we will take them to asylum or not, whether we will tell him to keep in the mental hospital or not. In the same way, stray dog is also which is absent-minded dog. If it is roaming on the roads, obviously it will hurt some or the other man, no? Supreme Court didn't told the normal dogs. Supreme Court did not told all the dogs. Supreme Court told only stray dogs. Meanwhile, Kerala what told? Kerala government seeks Supreme Court's permission to mass kill stray dogs. Kerala is asking that to kill the stray dogs. At least Supreme Court told keep in shelter homes, but the communist state which is called as Kerala, so-called Kerala state, is telling that kill the stray dogs. Please give me permission so that I will kill stray dogs. Why they are asking so that? So stray dogs are no use according to them. If we feed them, if we keep them in shelter homes, unnecessary burden on the government, no use of it, let us kill it. So what is your opinion? What Kerala is telling is correct, what Supreme Court is telling is correct, and what is your opinion? Tell me. What do you say? Very quickly.
So it's Supreme Court opinion is correct because so many actions are happening.
No, same I am telling, no. One of our family member, if we get affected by stray dog bite, then they will understand. Rabies, no medicine. Rabies, no. But sportsman died because of rabies disease. Jaya Bachchan is making lot of noise. If one of the family member get affected by this stray dog, then they will come to know. They didn't see the stray dogs, no. They will not come onto the road. We people will come onto the roads. They will roam only on the cars where they will experience stray dogs. Operation Falcon. Operation Falcon. Assam government has came up with operation called as Operation Falcon. Rhinoceros, for their one-horned rhinoceros, the horns, for their horns, they were being poached. The rhinoceros were being killed for smuggling purpose. In order to stop this poaching, smuggling, killing of rhinoceros, Assam government came up with operation called as Operation Falcon. Assam's Operation Falcon delivers major blow to rhino poaching rings. Rhino poaching areas, rhino poaching rings. In 2024, by Assam Police and Forest Department targets rhino poaching networks using on-ground and digital intelligence. Outcomes in 2025, 42 poachers were being arrested and 0 rhino killings so far this year. Till now, not a single rhino successful, no? Not a single. The same thing happened in 2022 also. Not a single rhino was been killed. Assam burned 2479 seized rhino horns in 2021 to deter illegal trade and devalue the horn markets. Kaziranga National Park, where it is by using what? Drones, CCTVs, technology. The operation name is called as Operation Falcon. Government of India or Government of Assam? Government of Assam. To protect whom? One-horned rhinos. Where? Kaziranga National Park. Ladak Statehood and 6th schedule demand. There is a lay apex body. There is a lab which is called as lay apex body and Kargil Democratic Alliance. Both are asking now, very important, they are asking that Leh and Kargil both are part of Ladakh. We want a separate state called as Ladakh. And that Ladakh state should become part of what? Schedule 6 of the Constitution. What is Schedule 6? 4 states are there. Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, Mizoram. Now Ladakh should be made as a complete state. Now it is a union territory. It should not be union territory. It should get full statehood, and not only statehood, it should also become what? Schedule 6 state under Article 244 Clause 2. So two demands are there of this, which is called as lay apex body Kargil Democratic Alliance. If you see here, a large protest in Kargil led by climate activist Sonam Wangchu, the Three Idiots hero, with a lab which is called as lay apex body and Kargil Democratic Alliance demanded statehood for Ladakh and inclusion under 6th schedule following the 3-day hunger strike and stall talks with center. So the demand is to, we want Ladakh as a separate state, and that state also should become part of Schedule 6 of the Constitution. So two demands are there now. So they are making movement, they are fighting, they are shouting. First demand is what? Statehood. Second demand is what? 6th schedule safeguard. Third demand is what? Ladakh Public Service Commission recruitment reforms. There should be a separate Public Service Commission. Fourth what? Separate Lok Sabha seats for Leh and Kargil. We want separate Lok Sabha so that they will be having voice in the Lok Sabha. Leh people will be having a voice in the Lok Sabha. Kargil people will be having the voice in the Lok Sabha. So four demand prelims point of view. Why the Leh and Kargil regions of Ladakh are going for agitations? Four demands. Statehood demand, to bring Ladakh under Schedule 6 of the Constitution. Already Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, Mizoram is there. Ladakh should become part of it. Third, Ladakh Public Service Commission should be made and recruitment reform should be done. And fourth is what? There should be separate MP seat for Leh, separate Lok Sabha MP seat for Kargil. So these are the four demands for which they are agitating. Why they are 6th schedule? There are tribals like Lepcha, there are tribals like Chakma. So these particular tribals want to protect their land, want to protect their culture. So if it becomes part of 6th schedule of the Constitution, they can protect properly. Hence they are demanding for 6th schedule of the Constitution. Under Article what? 244 Clause 2, as I told you. 244 Clause 1 is Schedule 5 of the Constitution. 244 Clause 2 is Schedule 6 of the Constitution. So four demands are there. Why they are asking for separate state? Apex body, Leh Kargil Democratic Alliance. Dardanel Strait, if you see here properly, if you focus here, yes, this is called as Turkey. This is also Turkey. Here there is a strait which is joining Aegean Sea with the Black Sea. This particular strait is called as Dardanel. This is also Turkey only. This is also Turkey. This complete is Turkey. In between there is a strait. What is strait? A water body dividing two land masses is called a strait. A water body dividing two land masses is called a strait. And where it is located? In the Turkey itself, but joining two water bodies. What is that? Aegean with Black Sea. Dardanel Strait, very important for your prelims. Dardanel Strait is joining what? Aegean Sea with the Black Sea. In which country it is located? In Turkey. Within Turkey. Why? Because this part is also called as Turkey. Wildfires near Kanakel led Turkey to temporarily shut the Dardanel Strait to maritime traffic, evacuate residents and deploy aircraft helicopters for firefighting with airport suspension reportedly. So what happened in this particular region? What happened in this particular region? Wildfires came. It's a forest area. Wildfires came. So Dardanel Strait, across Dardanel Strait, this part and this part. This part and this part. The Dardanel links the Aegean Sea to the Sea of Marmara. This is called as Sea of Marmara. This is called as Black Sea. Sea of Marmara, Aegean Sea and Black Sea. with the Bosphorus forms the only maritime route between the Black Sea and the Mediterranean. Key for global trade, oil and gas flows. Montreux Convention governs Turkish straits, peacetime fire, free passage for merchant ships, restrictions on warships. Turkey may regulate passage in war of it threatened central to state geopolitics. So mainly you have to remember that Aegean Sea, Strait, Sea of Marmara and Black Sea. So it's a major, it is going to connect what? Mediterranean Sea. So the Russia will cross through Turkey and going to the Mediterranean Sea. Here what happened? Wildfires came. So Dardanal Strait was being stopped. The ships were being stopped. So there is one particular thing which is called as Montreux Convention of 1936, which is telling that Turkey cannot stop the ships. Trade ships, merchant ships, it cannot stop. It can stop only warships. So Dardanelles is in the news. Dardanelles Strait is in the news for this purpose. Montreux Convention is telling that Turkey cannot stop the ships which are going through the Dardanelles Strait. Yes, it is inside your country only, but you should not stop. You can stop only what? Warships. This fellow is coming, Elon Musk. Starlink. What is a Starlink? What is Starlink? A satellite-based internet service provider. This is broadband, no? Satellite-based internet service provider. Very fast service we will be getting through satellite. Airtel, these are all not mobile data, these are all called as. Satellite-based internet service is called as Starlink and the owner is Elon Musk. Is set to enter India, marking a major shift in digital connectivity and strategic communication capabilities. Inspace granted satellite authorization to Starlink for its low Earth orbital Generation 1 constellation over India, valid for 5 years from approval date. So India also approved Inspace, which is approving authority of ISRO, gave permission to establish a satellite. Through that satellite, the Starlink will give internet service provider by using satellites. India gave the permission and the permission will stay for 5 years. This is government favored administrative allocation without any formal bidding for SATCOM spectrum amid industry debate. Starlink Generation 1 comprises LEO satellites. Yes, this is what. Satellite-based internet service provider company is Starlink, which India gave its permission for next 5 years. Now Jio is fighting that because of this my internet service providing will be loss. We will at loss. Hence there is a debate between Starlink versus Jio. Then government of India told that they are providing at cheaper price. If you are also ready to provide at cheaper price, we are ready, number one. Number two, and you don't have satellite internet service providing setup. Hence we are going with Starlink. Inspace has selected, this is Inspace, which is the authorizer of ISRO, had selected Pixel, SatSure, PeerSight, Dhruv Space, the 4 private companies. Pixel Space India Limited Consortium with PeerSight Space, SatSure and Dhruv Space to design, build, launch and operate India's first fully indigenously commercial Earth observation satellite under Earth observation PPP model. First private Earth observation satellite. First Earth observation indigenously developed satellite. Private company and government. PPP model. Private public partnership. What? Earth observation. We are looking Earth, not space. We are looking Earth. So this can be used for weather forecasting, it can be used for communications, it can be used for disaster management, etc. So for the first time in the history, India's first fully indigenous commercial Earth observation satellite constellation under Earth observation PPP model. Indigenously developed, domestically developed, locally developed. A 12 satellite constellation over 4 to 5 years integrating panchromatic, multispectral, hyperspectral and SAR sensors for all weather, day night imaging and wide applications, agriculture, disaster management, climate security, urban planning. 1200 crore by the privately funded. The winning bid was zero cost, indicating the consortium will self-finance. Hence the PPP project for the first time in the history, whereby 4 companies with Inspace. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This 5 major is ISRO only, but private companies also contributed for manufacturing what? India's first indigenously developed commercial public-private partnership Earth observation satellite. Up to now, all Earth observation satellites are what? Governments. But this is what? Public-private partnership. Public as well as private. Indigenously developed. And what? Commercial. We can sell it for commercial purpose. Why? Because private people are there now, so commercial purpose. Hence, Inspace gave permission for manufacturing. We didn't manufacture, we gave permission. Selected only. Now we have to manufacture. What? We have to design, we have to build, we have to launch and operate. These are the most important topics. Very quickly, last 1 week, what are all the topics which you have to remember? Number 1, Mutwan Tribe is in the news. What is about Mutwan Tribe? Second is about what? Barda Wildlife Century. Other than Gir, now we are selecting what? Barda Wildlife Century. In which state? Gujarat. Third, Perito Morino Glacier. Where? Argentina. Fourth, ice carving is also important. India Semiconductor Mission spurs 4 new chip plants. Where? Odisha, Punjab, Andhra Pradesh. India Semiconductor Mission. Next what? India Middle East Europe Economic Corridor. How many countries are involved? 8 countries are involved. 8 groups are involved. And domestically we are producing more. We are not only producing, we are also exporting. Union Minister, India's first state-of-art animal biodata or animal stem cell biobank. Where? Hyderabad. Supreme Court, stray dogs. Operation Falcon, rhinoceros. Ladak, now they are asking for 4 demands. One is statehood, other is to add in Schedule 6, and there should be a Ladakh Public Service Commission with recruitment reforms. And fourth is Leh 1 MP, Kargil 1 MP. And Dardanal Strait, there is a wildfire. Montreux record, Montreux Convention. Starlink, first satellite-based internet service provider. And we are coming up with first indigenously developed public-private partnership Earth observation satellite. No need to remember the companies, just if you remember that, it is enough. So this is the weekly current affairs. Next Saturday again I will come with weekly current affairs. Thank you.